It's Thursday morning. It's the Shoal Centre. It's Sidney by the Sea Rotary Club in Sidney, British Columbia. It's my pleasure to welcome you to our YouTube version of the guest speaker's appearance today. Denny Warner, who I've known for a very long time. She was the Executive Director of the Saanich Peninsula Chamber of Commerce before she assumed her new role, new at the time, 3 years ago at the executive director of the Mary Winspear Centre. Denny is a dedicated public servant who has spent much of her professional life working in that very interesting area of chambers of commerce, Vanderhoof Chamber before the Saanich Peninsula Chamber, and now works in, of course, a very exciting and important public-private partnership institution, the Mary Winspear Centre. Mary Winspear deserves the work that you do for that organization.
Thanks, John.
Welcome this morning, Denny.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a real pleasure to be here and talk about the center. I'm always excited to talk about the Mary Winspear Centre and Blue Heron Park.
Celebrating the first 25 years of its existence.
Yes.
And looking forward to the next quarter century.
That's right. So the doors opened in September of 2001. And so we'll be celebrating our 25th anniversary this September. And when you think about 25 years as an organization, it kind of causes you to think about what the future might look like and how you can develop something that's sustainable for the really long term. And so that's one of the things we're undertaking right now is a fundraising feasibility study just to see what the center might need, what the community might need for the next 25 years. So it's an exciting time.
25 years. I remember John Trelevin back in the day. I got a call from Mel Cavalier, who was the regional retired MLA. She goes, I'm raising money for this thing that we're calling, I don't even know if it had a name at that time. And he was instrumental in galvanizing funds to build that center, which is now a community leader. It is a spotlight within the community for arts and culture, which in many cities is not promoted and is not encouraged. And here we have little Sidney by the Sea with this extraordinary facility led by an extraordinary person. Tell us, Denny, a little bit around, are there some themes of which you guys are seeing trending these days at your facility?
Well, one of the things that we've made a concentrated effort on recently is to expand the programming in the theater side of things. So traditionally, our theater had kind of served as a roadhouse model, which is where you've got a lot of bands that come in and rent the space. But we're looking to do more of our own programming. And so you patrons may have noticed over the last while that we've really tried some new things. And it is a little bit riskier to bring in some different kinds of music or dance or theater. But we've had some very positive feedback from the community. So I think we're on the right track there. And then on the conference side of the business, we have a whole new opportunity now with the hotel that's opening up across the street.
Yes.
And so, of course, the conference business is a really big opportunity for us as well. And so I think we're in a really good position. We just sometimes we could use more space. Not sometimes. There are in some various staff, just places for staff to work is challenging, but also I think we could use some more meeting space. We're full a lot of the time. And so to bring in some conferences, which I think is important, we could use some more rooms.
And just to go back to something that you had said, John, Denny was talking about let's say the geographic reach of the center in this region. You might want to say a word or two about where the patrons come from.
Yeah, so that was an interesting exploration that I undertook about a year ago in discussion with the CRD when they were looking at the performing arts facilities funding that they were considering. And so what constituted a regional theater? And so when we looked at our patron data, it was clear that on any given show, about 50% minimum come from the Victoria area. And in conversations with a lot of the people who come to shows, it's a lot about predictability. They like being able to come find parking easily. They don't have to deal with some of the issues that maybe they have to encounter where they're going to shows in downtown Victoria. And so it's just a comfort level, in addition to, of course, that we've got great acoustics and sight lines and everything else in the theater. So it's just an enjoyable watching experience. So it was really great when the CRD came to us and said, well, you're one of 3 regional theaters in the area. And so, you know, we're looking at finding some sort of sustainable funding model.
Yeah. Now, has that not been finalized, or is it still in discussion?
The AAP closes on the 30th of March. So.
Oh, so AAP meaning the discovery phase or something like that?
No, it's the alternative approvals process. So that's when we'll know whether taxpayers are wanting to support this new service.
Oh my gosh. So this is timely. So John, I think we need to have a little celebration video after the 30th.
Well, I have no doubt that once an official fundraising program starts for the renewal of the Mary Winspear Centre, that there will be some collateral material that we'll be able to use.
Definitely.
But let's today celebrate the Melcuvaliers of this world, the generous bequest that began the Mary Winspear Centre, the role that
the Bodines, they were instrumental.
The town of Sidney has played, North Saanich has played, and now the region. And John, you and I both know that Denny and I right now are at the Shoal Centre where Sidney Rotary meets every Thursday. Well, guess what? The Shoal Centre is clearly an expression of municipal public policy. It's an amazing centre.
Oh, yeah.
So this relatively small community of whatever it is, 14,000, 15,000 people,
kicking way beyond its means, beyond its means.
Absolutely. And the impact of the Mary Winspear Centre on the region and the fact of the new hotel will be another game changer for you. Is amazing. And it's the vision of the whole community, but particularly the families that stepped up to make the initial bequest, which started the whole thing. And if I may say, the quality of staff like Denny Warner, who take that institution after it's built, and people say, well, now what are we going to do? Because it's got to be new every day, not just new 25 years ago.
Yeah, we're very lucky to have Denny.
Absolutely amazing job with your team.
We both worked with her at the Chamber of Commerce, and then the Mary Winspear Centre stole her. And so, you know, we're very lucky, and it was very necessary at the time. This Blue Heron Park piece, I helped. Well, I was at least involved. I don't know how much I helped raise some money for a track and field update at the Parkland Senior Secondary School. I did not realize the extent to which there are other assets that the Mary Winspear Centre manages and owns, I guess, through a public trust or something. Would you mind expanding on that a little bit? And so it's not just the facility there that you're looking after.
It's true. It is a little bit strange sometimes just to think that is part of the whole makeup of the Memorial Park Society. But initially how that came about was there was an area of land that was established where the Sencha Hall used to be that was under the trust. And then through time, some parts of that were expropriated by highways and by the town of Sidney for a variety of roadways. And so then an equal amount of land had to go into the trust. And so that's where Blue Heron Park came to join our Memorial Park family. And I often say that I think that we're really good in terms of staffing about taking care of the Mary Winspear Centre, but we have relatively less resources, both in terms of knowledge and I don't know, even tools to be able to manage a park. So, unfortunately, I feel like it does suffer from a lack of attention, and we're still hoping that we can encourage, the District of North Saanich, someone else that can come to the table with some more expertise and, parks management knowledge, in addition to the work we know we need to do, which is to make the park more of a cohesive park. It needs you know, it's kind of broken up into these different areas with the soccer field and the school districts areas and things, but just to be able to have a network of trails that go around the whole outside and kind of connect it from one end to the other is really the vision that we have in mind.
Wow. And now you are sharing those visions with this visionary beside you. This is great. Well done, John. I'm so glad that I was able to reconnect with Denny because we caused as much problems, we caused as much trouble as we possibly could at the Chamber of Commerce.
Indeed, it's hard to work with a volunteer board when you agree.
Yeah,
I'm not going to comment on that.
That's right. That's right. No, that's wonderful. I can't wait to go to the Mary Winspear again very soon. And Denny, thank you so much for presenting this morning to Sidney by the Sea Rotary Club, which John Trelevin is just putting on his back and is digitizing the entire process. Not sure if all of his members know what he's doing, but that is fantastic. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you, Denny. And for those of you watching this presentation, do hit the subscribe button. We have speakers 3 times a month. They'll all be on our site, and they're all very interesting, passionate, dedicated members of this community, or people who wish they were.
Mm-hmm. Take care now.
All right.